Hey guys, so I'm going to briefly go over Studio 6 so you can, read the directions and then possibly check this video if you want to kind of hear it explained a little bit also. So I'm going to go down to Studio. I'm going to go down to Studio 6. You can also, it's also linked in the calendar a couple of times. And this is due next Monday night. There's 3 different steps, the goal of which is to work on your digital essay draft, write a critical reflection or self-assessment of your work so far, and then note a few places to make some revisions. And that's the goal, or things to work on. So that's the goal for the whole studio, and there's 3 steps. So I'm going to kind of break it down. Step 1 is to prepare a draft of your digital essay in a Google Doc or a website, or on your website. So I'm leaving it up to you. We are still doing the digital essay on Wix, and only the digital essay on Wix. So your whole site can be kind of focused on your digital essay. Unless you've already been working on it. Some people have already been working on their website and did a lot of work with Studio 5 on their website, and you're welcome to continue to put your portfolio there if it's easier because you've already been working on it. But I digress. So some people like to work on their content first on their Google Doc, and that's cool. Some people want to work on everything at one time on their website. So I kind of let you pick your poison here. You can work on it in either place. You do have a bare minimum, which is 1,300 words and 4 sources. You'll remember where you were supposed to be last week when we did integrating sources was 1,200 words and 4 sources. So you're really not adding very much content at all for this draft, but it also kind of gives people a chance to catch up if you need to. Step 2 is to write a critical reflection or self-assessment. So if your draft is on your Google Doc already, you can add this at the bottom. If you are working on your website, then you'll need to open up a Google Doc to submit for your reflection. Now I said for each part, look over the list of questions and respond to several prompts that are going to help you revise. So I said several. So as you're looking through this, you'll notice it's divided into 4 parts by kinds of things that we've gone over. So your argument and your order, your outline of your sections, how you're addressing other perspectives, how you're selecting sources, how you're integrating those sources, and then part 5 is just other help, any other questions you might have for me. So the goal of this is also to get some advice. And Studio 7 will work like this also, except it'll be more related to rhetorical appeals and design and things like that. But it'll be another chance to see where you are and also ask some questions. And then this is 300 words. So the goal, again, is not to answer every single prompt, but to look at part 1 and say, okay, here's some questions to help me think about how I'm doing with argument order. What are some things I can revise or need to work on, and write about that. So you're not answering everything. You're using it to think about where you might need to revise. And then step 3 is marking some things to work on. So mark places in your current draft, so at least 3 places where you need to make revisions. So it could be where you need to add quotes, or where you need to add context or explanation from quotes you already have. Add new types of sources, address a perspective. I have some examples here for things you might need to work on. I'm sorry if you can hear my kids screaming in the background. They're in the other room. Second is for each place you've marked, just make a note about what you either revised there or what you're going to. So in your Google Doc, it could be just highlighting and inserting a comment that makes a note about what you need to change there, what you need to add. If you're on your website, you're gonna use your colors to highlight that place, and then you can use brackets or parentheses to add in your comment. When you go to submit this, you're going to submit the link to your Google Doc with everything in it. So one link, your rough draft with your reflection, with your comments and all that stuff. If you're submitting your essay on your website, you're still going to have a Google Doc with your reflection and things like that, and you'll just add your link to your website on that Google Doc. So you're still just submitting one Google Doc with everything in it, either all your content or your reflection and the link to your website. And again, you should have 1,300 words and 4 sources, a 300-word reflection, and mark 3 places where you're gonna, do some work, add something, make some kind of a revision or improvement, something to work on. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully that was helpful, and you're welcome to send me an email if you have any questions about this. Bye.